Good morning everyone. I'm here with my next video on the chapter Glimpses of India part 3. This is for class 10 and it is the chapter Tea from Assam. A wonderful picture of the tea gardens of Assam. They look so beautiful everywhere. It is green and green and green. This area is full of godliness. As I read the text, I will keep explaining. I hope you all understand and enjoy reading about these tea gardens. Chai garam, garam chai, a vendor called out in high-pitched voice. He came up to their window and asked, Chai, saab? Give us 2 cups, Pranjal said. They sipped the steaming hot liquid. Almost everyone in their compartment was drinking tea too. Do you know that over 80 crore cups of tea are drunk every day throughout the world? Rajveer said. Phew! Exclaimed Pranjal. Tea really is very popular. The train pulled out of the station. Pranjal buried his nose in his detective book again. Rajveer too was an ardent fan of detective stories, but at the moment he was keener on looking at the beautiful scenery. It was green, green everywhere. Rajveer had never seen so much greenery before. Then the soft green paddy fields gave way to tea bushes. It was a magnificent view. Against the backdrop of densely wooded hills, a sea of tea bushes stretched as far as the eye could see. Dwarfing the tiny tea plants were tall, sturdy shade trees, and amidst the orderly rows of bushes busily moved doll-like figures. Now here we come to know that Pranjal and Rajveer, they are traveling in a train, and as they are in the station, the train is stranded at the station. The tea vendor comes and asks them for tea, and Pranjal orders for 2 cups of tea for both Pranjal and Rajveer. As they enjoy this steaming hot liquid, they see that everyone in the compartment was having tea. And in fact, Rajveer told that around over 80 crore cups were drunk in a day in the whole world, throughout the world, if it could be calculated. And Pranjal was really surprised and he exclaimed and even said that yes, tea was a very popular beverage. As the train pulled out, the train started. Pranjal, who was very interested, he was already reading a detective book, he started reading that. Rajveer too used to love reading detective stories, but right now he was more keen on absorbing observing the beautiful scenery outside the train, to view the beautiful green area of the whole place that was full of tea gardens. The tea bushes looked beautiful. In fact, in the middle, they also saw paddy fields, but these tea bushes stretched far and far as the eye could see, and it was a really beautiful sight. In the distance was an ugly building with smoke billowing out of tall chimneys. Hey, a tea garden! Rajveer cried excitedly. Pranjal, who had been born and brought up on a plantation, didn't share Rajveer's excitement. Oh, this is a tea country now, he said. Assam has the largest concentration of plantations in the world. You will see enough gardens to last you a lifetime. I have been reading as much as I could about tea, Rajveer said. No one really knows who discovered tea. But there are legends. What legends? Well, there's the one about the Chinese emperor who always boiled water before drinking it. One day, a few leaves of twigs burning under the pot fell into the water, giving it a delicious flavor. It is said they were tea leaves. So, as the train moved on, Rajveer witnessed a, an ugly building, a sort of a factory, which was very ugly to look at, but it had tall chimneys and smoke was billowing out of it. And then the large tea gardens really excited him. Pranjal had been born and had been brought up here among in this plantation area in Assam, so he didn't feel the excitement as Rajveer was feeling, and Rajveer was very excited to see this green country, this green area, and he also talks about what all he had read before starting his journey for Assam. He told about the legends that he had read about, which tell about the discovery of tea. He tells about the Chinese emperor who used to boil water before drinking it. Once a few leaves fell out of the twig on which he was burning, and these leaves, they gave a very delicious flavor to water. It is said that they were tea leaves. Tell me another, scoffed Pranjal. We have an Indian legend too. Bodhidharma, an ancient Buddhist ascetic, cut off his eyelids because he felt sleepy during meditations. 10 tea plants grew out of the eyelids. The leaves of these plants, when put in hot water and drunk, banished sleep. Tea was first drunk in China, Rajveer added, as far as 2700 BC. In fact, words such as tea, chai, and chini are from Chinese. Tea came to Europe only in 16th century and was drunk more as medicine than as beverage. So when Pranjal heard about the Chinese emperor, he asked for another legend that Rajveer knew. Rajveer tells about the Indian legend also. He talks about Bodhidharma, who was an ancient Buddhist ascetic who, while meditating, used to feel very sleepy. So, to banish sleep, he had cut off his eyelids so that his eyes keep open. 10 tea plants grew out of his eyelids, and it is said that they were tea leaves, and when boiled in hot water and drunk, it used to banish sleep. In fact, Rajveer also added that tea was discovered 2700 BC, that is very a long time back. And he also says that all these words like chai and chini, they are all of Chinese origin. And in Europe, tea was introduced in 16th century, which was drunk more as a medicine than as a beverage. The train clattered into Mariani Junction. The boys collected their luggage and pushed their way to the crowded platform. Pranjal's parents were waiting for them. Soon they were driving towards Dekhiabari, the tea garden managed by Pranjal's father. An hour later, the car veered sharply off the main road. They crossed a cattle bridge and entered Dekhiabari Tea Estate. On both sides of the gravel road were acre upon acre of tea bushes, all neatly pruned to the same height. Group of tea pluckers with bamboo baskets on their backs, wearing plastic aprons, were plucking the newly sprouted leaves. So the train stopped at Mariani Junction. The boys collected their luggage. They got down at the crowded platform. Pranjal's parents were there to receive them. Pranjal's father was a manager in Dekhiabari Tea Garden. So they soon moved towards this place. They also saw a cattle bridge. They crossed the cattle bridge and they entered the Dekhiabari Tea Estate. Rajveer saw that on both sides of the gravel road were acre and acre of tea bushes, and there were many tea pluckers who had these bamboo baskets at their backs. They were wearing plastic aprons and they were plucking the newly sprouted leaves. All the bushes were pruned to the same height and they looked really beautiful. Pranjul's father slowed down to allow a tractor pulling a trailer load of tea leaves to pass. This is the second flush or sprouting period, isn't it, Mr. Barua? Rajveer asked. It lasts from May to July and yields the best tea. You seem to have done your homework before coming, Pranjul's father said in surprise. Yes, Mr. Barua, Rajveer admitted, but I hope to learn much more while I'm here. So then Pranjul's father slowed down. There was a tractor that was pulling a trailer load of tea leaves. So Pranjul's father moved to one side. Their car moved to one side so that be the tractor may be able to pass. And then Rajveer said that was it the second flush or the sprouting period? He asked Mr. Barua. Mr. Barua is Pranjul's father. And Rajveer also added that it is this sprouting period, this that is also known as a second flush period, lasts from May to July and yields the best tea. Pranjul's father was really surprised that Rajveer had done a lot of research work, done a lot of homework, research work. He had found a lot about the area that he was visiting. So he was surprised. Rajveer admitted that yes, he had studied, he had done a lot of research work, but he wanted to learn more while he was there. So that was all about tea from Assam. We came to know few important things about the sprouting season, about the legends that are known that led to the discovery of tea leaves. Now let us see some question and answers. I have a few question and answers over here which covers the whole chapter. So even if something else is asked, I'm sure you will be able to form your answers on your own. Let us start with question 1. What are the legends related to the discovery of tea? The answer is there are many popular legends about the discovery of tea. A Chinese emperor was used to drinking boiled water. One day a twig from the fire fell into the pot in which water was being boiled. It gave delicious flavor to the drink. It is said that these were tea leaves. An Indian legend goes like this. Once there was a Buddhist ascetic who used to feel sleepy during meditations, so he cut off his eyelids. 10 tea plants grew out of his eyelids. When these leaves were boiled in hot water and drunk, they banished sleep. Question 2. What information do you gather about the history of tea after reading Lesson Tea from Assam? The answer is tea was first drunk in China. Even the words chai and chini are from Chinese. It goes back to 2700 BC. In the 16th century, tea came to Europe and was drunk more as a medicine than as a beverage. Assam has the largest concentration of tea plantations in the world. There are a large group of women with bamboo baskets on their backs. They pluck the newly sprouted tea leaves from the plants and store them in the baskets. What did Rajveer see during his train journey? Why was he more excited than his friend Pranjul? Rajveer, a classmate of Pranjul, is visiting Dekiabari tea estate in Assam for the first time. Actually, he is enjoying the train journey to Assam with his friend Pranjul, whose father manages Dekiabari tea estate. The beautiful scenery fascinates Rajveer. It is green, green everywhere. He sees so much greenery for the first time in his life. Now the landscape changes. The paddy fields give way to tea bushes. A sea of tea bushes is stretching as far as eyes can go. The orderly rows of bushes are pruned to the same height. Group of tea pluckers are carrying bamboo baskets on their backs. They are plucking the newly sprouted leaves. The magnificent view fascinates Rajveer. However, Pranjal is not so much excited. These views are not new to him. He was born and brought up on a tea plantation. Question 4. What landscape did Rajveer notice while sitting in the train? The answer is Rajveer was fascinated by the scenic beauty of the place. These were vast green tea gardens on both sides of the road. The tall trees at the back of the gardens in the forest on the rolling hills looked beautiful. The women plucking tea leaves looked like dolls. On the way, he saw people drinking tea. He also saw an ugly building with smoke coming out of its chimneys. Rajveer was received by Mrs. and Mr. Barua and taken towards Dekiabari tea estate. On both sides of the gravel road were acres and acres of neatly pruned tea bushes. It was the second sprouting period. Women were wearing plastic aprons and plucking new tea leaves and putting them in the bamboo baskets on their backs. Why did Pranjal's father say in surprise that Rajveer had done his homework before coming here? The answer is a tractor was pulling a trailer load of tea leaves at Dekhiabari tea estate. Rajveer asked Pranjal's father if that was the second flush or the sprouting period. Rajveer told that the second sprouting period lasts from May to July and yields the best tea. Such detailed information about tea leaves surprised Pranjal's father. He told Rajveer that he seemed to have done his homework before coming. Question 6. How and where are tea leaves collected in Assam? The answer is Assam has the largest number of tea leaves in India. Acre upon acre of tea bushes is stretching as far as the eyes can go. All the bushes are pruned to the same height. Group of tea pluckers carry bamboo baskets on their back to collect tea leaves. They wear plastic aprons. They pluck the newly sprouted tea leaves from the bushes. Then the leaves are dried and processed in factories. Question 7. Where was tea first drunk? When did tea come to Europe? It is believed that tea was first drunk in China in 2700 BC. Words like chai and chini are Chinese. Tea came to Europe in 16th century. At first, it was used more as medicine than as a beverage. I hope this video was helpful to you. Do watch other videos also of the same class. If you require anything new, please let me know. If you are a newcomer, please subscribe and also press the bell icon for the latest notifications. Take good care of yourself. Bye.